Let's talk about socialism. Been a lot of famous socialists. He was a socialist. Him too. Remember him? Socialist. Socialists like their toys. For good reason. When you're busy seizing everybody's property, you usually need to crack a few skulls. About 100 million of them, in fact. Today, you could ask people in Venezuela about socialism.
Venezuela, a rich country blessed with bountiful natural resources, is now a hellhole.
Venezuelans have lost weight because they cannot find food.
They're ripping through garbage bags outside restaurants and shopping malls. And they're starving. People here are eating dog food.
These days, you don't need to look too far to find socialists. They're right here in the good old US of A.
Is anyone else on the stage concerned about having a Democratic socialist at the top of the Democratic ticket?
I'm not.
I would be the most progressive president we've had in a half century.
We will not only win this election, we will transform this country.
Workers will the world unite.
We need fundamental change in the United States of America.
What do Democratic Socialists believe? State ownership of major industries, that would include healthcare, technology, manufacturing. Some of them explicitly support communism.
Make college universally available with free tuition and fees.
What do you think of Elizabeth Warren's proposal to, quote, save capitalism?
I think it will help to destroy capitalism.
I wish I could staple a free college diploma under every one of your chairs. I do. Don't look. It's not there.
Socialists have trouble putting any faith in the little guy. You know, the folks who pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
You know, this idea and this metaphor of a bootstrap started off as a joke because it's a physical impossibility.
Socialism is about one thing only: power for the ruling class.
Freshman Congresswoman Omar, who has now exposed her party's all-too cozy relationship with virulent anti-Semitism.
You wrote, Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them see the evil doings of Israel.
I don't know how my comments would be offensive to Jewish Americans.
Your policing policy as mayor, quote, we put all the cops in the minority neighborhoods. The way you should get the guns out of the kids' hands is to throw them against the wall and frisk them.
If you look at our jails, it's predominantly minorities. If you look at who the perpetrators are, it's virtually all minorities.
Sakai told her boss, Michael Bloomberg, she was pregnant.
She thought he would be pleased, and he said to her, kill it.
A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians.
Stricter gun laws move forward in Virginia.
Democratic presidential candidate Michael Bloomberg is unveiling his signature gun control policy.
In the spirit of gun control, will you disarm your entire security team?
You will get right back to you.
How many live in those gated communities? How many can afford private security? How many buy the best and most expensive security systems, but yet they would disarm law-abiding citizens who can only rely on themselves to protect their families?
2020 Democrat candidates taking to the campaign trail to push their plans for climate change, while at the same time spending big on private jets in order to do it.
Senator, you spent over $300,000 on private jets.
Buttigieg spent roughly $300,000 on private jet travel this year.
Each of these candidates are total hypocrites.
Hunter Biden's firm did work with this company in Ukraine. They were paid $166,000 a month retainer. I think if his name were Hunter Smith, he probably wouldn't have been getting paid.
How many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
Everybody's looked at it and said there's nothing there. Ask the right question.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
In your state alone, in Indiana, 7 insurance providers have said
we're out.
There are a lot of Democrats who say this is not a winning position to tell the average American that they would have to give up their private health insurance, which they might like.
Even doubling taxes wouldn't pay for Medicare for all.
My father's family left Soviet Russia in 1979, fleeing from some of the very same socialist policies that you seem eager to implement in this country.
I think we should look to countries like Denmark, like Sweden, and Norway.
Denmark is far from a socialist planned economy.
Well, Scandinavia tried socialist policies years ago. They then turned away from socialism.
When we were in Moscow, for example, most of the people here also were extremely impressed by their public transportation system. Also, I was impressed by the youth programs that they have and cultural programs which go far beyond what we do in this country.
I think of communism when I think of Bernie. Now, you could say socialist.
At the State of the Union, he said socialism destroys nations. And before the Super Bowl, he joked with Sean Hannity about your honeymoon in Moscow.
But you don't necessarily think in terms of marriage, Moscow.
I'm not here to reform some of these systems when we talk about immigration. I'm here because Senator Sanders has actually committed to breaking up ICE.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Well, like talking about people voting from jail cells. All right, we're talking about not having a border. I mean, come on, people.
No Trump, no wall, no USA at all. No Trump, no wall, no USA at all.
Second thought, let's not talk about socialism.
America will never be a socialist country.
Let's talk about freedom, faith, rugged individualism, liberty, the stuff that keeps America great.
This election is a choice between American freedom and democratic socialism.
The unemployment rate is the lowest in over half a century. African American poverty has declined to the lowest rate ever recorded.
Together, we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people.
It's true. When America's standing tall, some would rather tear it to pieces. They get all kinds of triggered. That's how you separate the winners from the losers.
The best is yet to come. Because together we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America